Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Can we all hear me? Sorry, I gave you such a fright there. Apologies.
Good morning.
Yeah. They did ask me how loud I was going to talk, and I say I always present louder when I do it live, so don't ask me to do it prep. Um, Good afternoon. First and foremost, thank you everyone for being here today. I appreciate it. It's 4:05. Everyone's feet's probably really sore. Our caffeine levels are the lowest they've been throughout the day. But yes, hopefully you've saved the best till last though. This is our last session today. And today what we are going to talk about is expanding workflows to teachers. So think about those common IT tasks that you send maybe your pupils to do every day, or that you request IT to do. Things like we want new apps on our devices, or Johnny keeps doing these wrong things on his device. We're going to show you today how you can use Jamf School to help with that. So, just before we begin as well, I am Scott Mackay. I'm a systems engineer here at Jamf for our UK and Ireland, and I help a lot of our large-scale education customers deploy Apple successfully in their environment. So, yeah, you should all have devices in front of you. Feel free to partake. We do have some activities that we will do today. So just before we begin, I'm sure one of the questions you'll have is, great, but how are you doing this? So the kind of three key main tools that we will be using to successfully control our iPads today is Apple School Manager, Jamf School, and within Jamf School, we have a application called Jamf Teacher. So that's really what I want to talk to you about today is Jamf Teacher and how we can successfully use that to overcome some of the common tasks that you may get burdened with as teachers and IT in education. So, what I want you to do is look around this room. So today, what's going to happen is you are going to be my pupils. So you're no longer IT, you're no longer the teachers, you're no longer staff members, you're going to be the pupils, and I will be the teacher. But what I want you to notice is around this room, there is no IT involvement, okay? So there's nobody from IT here today. That's the whole point, right? A lot of these tasks we should be able to shift to do, in the classroom so that IT can actually focus on the larger projects. I don't think anyone got an IT to reset iPads all day, did they? Probably not. They didn't do that to deploy apps either. So, we want them to get on with the larger projects and the larger things, so that we can all be successful. Again, they want to talk about Wi-Fi upgrades, looking at iPad refreshes. That's where they, excel. What we want to do as teachers is we want to quickly act in support so we can help our students get back into learning and make them focus on the learning rather than IT having to do it. So again, you will be the pupils, I'll be the teacher, and we have nobody from IT. So think about that. IT are a great support, but how can we help them and ourselves? Okay, so think about that as we go through this today. Now, the first thing that I would like you to do is unlock your iPads in front of you. So everyone's got an iPad. If they can just unlock it to get to the home screen, we should see, okay, so, exactly. How many of you have had that happen? We all know pupils come in, oh, I've got locked iPads, so I can see here on my screen, if I show you, so we can use Apple Classroom here, and I can see we've got Anika and Lila who are locked at their passcodes and they don't know it. So what we can do is we have our Jamf Teacher application, and what that allows me to do is that allows me to not only control the devices but support them as well. So I bet right now, if somebody's locked their iPads, you probably send them down to IT. They go skipping with a friend in their iPad. We get to go out of class because we've locked our iPads. And sometimes what actually happens, unfortunately, is the device needs erased and set back up again, which can cause data loss, and that's not fun. I know we want to, make sure that they learn, and sometimes in life, you got to be responsible, but data loss isn't nice. So what we can do with Jamf School is, because we have the MDM framework as well, we can actually clear passcodes on devices straight from my teacher iPad here. So I can do this on an individual basis. So I can take Anika here and I can clear that passcode. And there we go, which is your one here. And when I send that command, I'll just quickly send it. What will then happen is that the passcode should clear on that device and you get into it. and remind me again, Lila, there we go. So what I can do is I can look for Lila's iPad here, and being in alphabetical order, it really helps me. I can then send that clear passcode command, and within minutes, and again, no IT interaction, we can then make it really easy for the iPad to be cleared. And we're now in our iPads. So within 2 minutes there, I've unlocked 2 iPads. No IT intervention, no data loss. Really simple. One command for the teacher as well. Really easy. So again, IT can set this up, and then teachers now have control. There's no data loss. And again, if we look at it now, again, your current workflow probably requires IT. You know, pupils have to leave the classroom. With our JAMS teacher workflow, we have no IT. We can do that quick support. Most importantly, all the pupils go, wow, how did you do that? That's so cool. So again, none of this obstruction. The learner is straight back into the environment, partaking with everyone else in the class. But again, most importantly, no IT. 2 minutes, both iPads unlocked. Really quick, really simple. So now that we are in our iPads, can everyone look for the Google Docs application on their iPad for me and just open that up? So do you have Google Docs on your iPad there? No, it's not there. Ah, okay, dash. Quite a common request, right? How many of you run down to IT with a nice packet of biscuits going, I needed this app and I needed it yesterday. Could you push that to my device now? Anyone, you know? You always do that. Or maybe you're emailing IT. You're saying, I need this application, Maths 453. And if you search Maths 453 in the App Store, you're probably going to get about 1,000 applications that come up. How do they know which one to choose? Well, again, with Jam School, we can give staff access to the App Store without, them having to install apps from the App Store. So what I can do here is I can search Google Docs. And here we are. So I've got Google Docs. I can look, yeah, that's exactly the one that I want. Perfect.
Can you tie down the apps that are available for the teachers?
You can tie down the apps, yeah. But what you can do is with Jamf Teacher, is I can actually put in a request to IT to give me this application. And I can choose the class, so I'm going to choose Classroom of the Future, and I can select maybe just one student, maybe they've got specific, Yep, so I can select one student, or I can go, actually, every student in my class needs this. I'll select all students, and I'll submit that, and why do I want this application? So you can start to have a process that say, how many licenses do you need? Or, have you checked the GDPR requirements in this application? Is it for a specific reason? Those types of things. So I can say, I'll just put in demo here, and I'll submit that. And that will go away to IT and submit that app request. So, great, they will go and get that now. They have a standardized process. So, we can move on from that at the time, and we can come back to that later. So, how many of you do this as well? You get to the start of the day, you go into class and you write up your instructions on the board, or you have it on a PowerPoint or something like that. You have a big URL that the pupils have got to type in, that they mistype, that they can't spell, or, all those types of things. You then, you've got to teach them how to use the iPad. You've got to say, use this application. Where's that application on my device? I don't know what a PDF is. All these types of things. Well, again, what we can do with Jamf Teacher, we have something called lessons. And what I can do is before the class starts, I can build out specific workflows and instruction sets to help users and guide them through that process. So, for example, I've got a workflow lesson here, and you can see what my workflow lesson does is it's got applications that I allow them. So they've got Notes, Student, Jamf Trust, Safari, and Soroctive. And I'm also going to lock you into a specific website as well. Now, maybe you allow the students to install their own applications on this device, things like Angry Birds, YouTube. I don't exactly know all the kind of apps that you've got there. So what I can do is I can control them by category as well. So I can turn off social media, I can turn off games. So that will block anything that's under the games category in the App Store. And what I can also do is I can control specific features. So things like AirDrop, spell check even. Let's say you're doing a mock exam. Spell check and screen recording. I can control that. And I don't need to go to IT to say, hey, can you turn off AirDrop for this lesson? No, I'm the one that can control that. So again, even things like camera, simple things that are just, quick actions that you can do. So I now have my lesson and I can easily save that. But what you also have, which is key for me, I can share that lesson. So if I've built something really good and I know there's a teacher next to me who maybe isn't as confident or needs a little bit more help, I can share this lesson with them. So all they then have to do is select that lesson, select the class that they want it in, and I can also select the time. So let's just say, actually, we're going to focus on this for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, automatically, the restrictions will clear without the teacher needing to do anything. So if I start that lesson on your iPad, what will then happen is you'll get a notification and your iPad will start to reconfigure itself. So you'll notice that some of the applications are gone. And if you open up Safari, for example, and you tap the toolbar, the address bar at the top, you'll notice that that website that I instructed you to go to is in your favorites. So it makes it really easy to guide users to these devices and to these websites as well. So again, no more, oh, I can't get to that website, how do I type it in, what's the URL? It makes it really easy, and we can add multiple of those in as well. So you can really quickly, easily see the benefit of there for both the teacher and the pupil, but also think about IT. No more of these requests, oh, how can we help our learners, or I need to focus on this for this lesson, or we've got this project that we want to do. We can build this all within a lesson and make that really easy to do. And if I want to quickly bring you back, and give you your iPads back, I can quickly clear all the restrictions in one click. And within that, your iPads will go back to the way they were. So you'll have all your applications again on the devices within a couple of minutes. And again, no need for me to go to IT and say, can you do this? Can you do this? IT will begin to do it and it will come back to its normal self again. Perfect, there we go. And there you go. You're all back to your usual iPad again. So again, if you think about it, with this, I don't need a PowerPoint slide every time I want to instruct users to do anything. It saves me time and I can't recycle that PowerPoint slide. Whereas what we can do is this is really easy to use and it's scalable as well. So if one person creates something good, we can share it across all the staff members. So again, you could really see how that will save you time and effort on doing really simple things. And you can also control things like AirDrop and spell check as well, which really puts the power in the staff hands. So, does everyone remember how we requested Google Docs earlier? Yes, perfect. Hopefully now, if you look on your device, what you will hopefully see is that Google Docs has almost, still downloading, that's fine. The network in here is a little bit, we've got all these devices on it. It's very busy, don't know about, But what I can also see is if I go into app request, there we go. That app that I requested earlier, I can go in and see myself if that's been approved. So I don't need to go and check with IT all the time. I can come in and there you go. I can see green tick, it's been approved. So no longer do I need to submit the app request and then go run to IT. Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? No, I can come in and check for myself. If it's been approved, I know it's going to be installed on your devices as well. So it's ready for me to start that learning program, that learning process again. So even from that point of view, we're saving time and scaling up as well. So, like I say, the key thing here is, I don't know what process you have right now, but I imagine you probably email somebody or you chase somebody or you've got a forum to fill out. With this, we can standardize the approach and it makes it simple for IT. So yes, we need IT to approve it, but if you think about it, if everyone starts doing the same thing, those approval processes get quicker and you no longer have to go and run and say, have you approved this? Have you done that? Where's this application? I can see it all myself as the teacher. So again, I can see one there that is currently sitting pending, for example. So again, what we've got there is quick, easy, and you know that once they've approved it, it's going to be installed on that class's devices as well. So you don't need to do anything. So it's very quick, very easy. So, with that, I just want to go back to the main topic that we thought about earlier. So again, the whole point of today was that there's no IT in this room. We've not had to contact IT once. Everything's been really slick and easy and seamless for me as the teacher. And you as the pupils have been able to get what you need when you need it. So at the top, we were saying about IT are a great support, but how can we help ourselves and IT? And really, what we've kind of done is we've flipped it on our head. And we've said IT are a great support, but now we can help ourselves and IT. So IT are not doing all these pesky tasks, they're not looking at resetting iPads. We can do all that ourselves, and they can get on with the bigger projects that really matter in the education system. So just take that with you today. You don't need to worry about implementing all this straight away. Just think about the small things, clearing passcodes. You just need to enable that. You don't need to look at app requests straight away. You can roll that down out later throughout your projects. So just before you go, we do have a prize draw, which I think my colleague will give me the information. So as you all signed up, we do have a winner, I believe. So here we go. So as a thank you for attending today's session, we've thrown all your names into a hat to win an Apple AirTag. And the winner is it Sani Sanders? Hey, there you go. There you go. So yes, thank you everybody for attending. I hope you found that useful. I hope you've seen some workflows that you can take back to your school to solve some real problems. If you do have any questions, myself and all my colleagues in the, I'm going to say green, but I am colorblind, green t-shirts will be around to help. So feel free to stay, and if you want to see anything, we can absolutely talk you through it as well. But thank you for attending today.
Thank you. Thanks very much.